That's the title. So rare disease facts. To technically qualify as rare disease, you have to have fewer than 200,000 people affected in the U.S., and you get that category. 90% don't have any treatment options, at least FDA approved. 80% are genetic. And while you might think of it as rare, it in combination is actually very common. So it's a large number of patients. The problem is there's a lot of conditions. For example, who here has heard of Coulon-de-Vries syndrome? Besides from me. So again, this is personal. My son was diagnosed with Coulon-de-Vries when I was in residency after he had a big seizure around 1. And when we went to try and find any information about this, after the genetic testing we pushed for, we finally got, I looked it up on the rare disease website, and there was microdeletion syndrome causes cognitive and social delays and a bunch of other health problems, basically. So there wasn't really any information. I won't go through too much of the clinical details about KDVS, but one of the biggest problems is developmental delay and then seizures, because half the kids have seizures and a lot of them develop status epilepticus, and then there's an issue with regression. So how do you kind of make people aware of this rare disease? Because before this happened, I would argue okay, well, why would you do a bunch of genetic testing on somebody when there's no treatment options? As doctors, I was always taught as a surgeon, well, don't order a test unless it's going to change your medical management. Well, most of these conditions, there's no treatment. So unfortunately, you're kind of treating the condition symptoms. Seizures, you use anti-epileptics, physical therapy, all that stuff. But as a kind of family member in the rare disease community, I do want to just kind of plug and say it is important for us, for the patients' families, because even having that diagnosis is a huge relief. It opens up a whole nother door. But also it allows you to find a community. And it's not until you have a large enough community that you can start networking with these other rare diseases. And then you can build again, it's a huge patient population. So if we can unify, we can hopefully get some stuff done. Also, it helps because you have to have a patient registry. There's a lot of hurdles to getting to the point where anyone will even consider doing pharmaceutical testing or anything like that. And that's all very expensive. So in the interest of trying to kind of promote research, we looked into film, and it started off as a project for a rare disease, essentially blog, and it grew drastically. So again, the goals, basically, hopefully accomplishing a little bit of that right now, making awareness more broad, and then hopefully getting to the point where people understand kind of the condition that families with rare disease are facing. Now again, we're not a typical family in that we are very privileged, and I want to make that clear compared to a lot of other people. So just an idea of how many people worked on this project, and again, this is a 12-minute documentary obtained from 40 hours of footage. It's really weird having a film crew follow you around in your daily life. It also adds 15 pounds, I found out. But we initially all got together. I'll give you a little timeline. This doesn't cover everything. There's multiple other meetings. We had to meet with lawyers and other stuff. And this film team of incredible young filmmakers came to Wilmington and put together this documentary with my family. Interestingly, if you get into the film industry, it's kind of like medicine. Like you got to go to film festivals as peer-reviewed film festivals to build your resume, and kind of related to that a little bit. So we also worked with graphic designers to film or to develop a promotion poster. So the results, okay. Basically, it premiered at several film festivals, and it ended up, you can go through all these, but it ended up actually winning an award in the International Rare Film Disease Festival in Rome. And through all this, we were able to found a nonprofit, My Cool Brother, and there's a link if you want. You can get through that link. It'll take you directly to the fundraising page because that's what we're trying to generate. But if you go up in the menu, you can see the movie. And we've actually been able to partner with other groups. We're developing some animal models potentially for with research labs. And then there's the website. And then I'll try and play as much as I can. It's a 12-minute documentary, so I'll use the rest of my time, and then we can do questions. And that's my son, Davis.
Welcome to my home. I am 7 years old.
Davis very much lives in the moment, and he's an internal optimist, even when he's whining. He's very intuitive, more so than you give him credit.
Davis is my son, and he is 7 years old, and he has Coulind-de-Vries syndrome. He was about 16 months old, 15, 16 months old, something like that. He wasn't doing well at the house. He was having lung issues. He had another cold, and it was to the point of we were sitting there in the living room again. I was holding him, and he was just it wasn't going that well. And Dana looks at me and says, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" And I was like, "You know what? I do." KDVS is caused by a microdeletion in chromosome 17, or it's caused by a mutation in the cancel 1 gene. And then from there, it affects every cell in the body, and it causes hypotonia, so like floppy kids. It causes speech delays in 100% of the kids, epilepsy in about half of the kids, and heart issues, heart defects. And now we're thinking it causes a lot more pulmonary issues and some orthopedic issues and eye issues. So it really does affect every organ, every system in the body.
You are pretending that right there is a bowling ball.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna bowl you down.
Yeah.
Which way should I bowl you? Whoa. What about that? Oh! Did I get you? Did you have fun today?
This is soccer season, so this will be the routine for the next 3 months. All 3 kids will have games. Hopefully at least 2 of the 3 will be at the same field, but a lot of times they're all different places and we have to divide. Hey Davis, Alex, I'm gonna have to take it away from both of you if you guys won't play nicely.
What is it? Ugh. All right. Go. You're in. John's out. You're in.
Hey, buddy. Good job. Davis, that's not your team, though. I don't know at this point if he even knows he's any different than any other kids. With his speech and his delays, it's hard for him to talk. You can tell something's bothering him. He's got pretty good emotional body language, but he can't really always tell you. And I think if you don't have the ability to tell people, it's hard to actually like have consciousness about it and understand like what's going on. So I don't know though, to be honest with you. We found out he started having the seizures again, so we got an MRI, and apparently sometime in the last 4 years he had a stroke. And we don't know how or when or when it happened. He's lost like a third of his vision in each eye. We just found out technically, based on his level of vision now, he will never be able to drive. But he's also young enough that the brain might be able to reroute and he can, could drive. So again, it's just, we just don't know. That's the hard part. Sorry.
The unknown of KDVS is tough. We don't know the answer. We don't know, are they going to be able to drive? Are they going to be able to have a job? And that is hard because it can be scary.
What's wrong?
You can stop it. At least 10 pounds. Any questions? Thank you.